Hello. All right. So, second attempt at recording this video. I had done this already, and my mic wasn't working. So, anyways, in this video, we're gonna go through and install our first add-on pack, which is the Sega CD to the Launchbox No Intro. Relatively easy pack to install. I'll show you the installation, and we'll do some testing on it. Okay. All right, so in my my installation, my download folders on my D drive, downloads, Launchbox no intro. I basically rename each pack that I download with the order. So the first pack is 002, and that's going to correspond to the numbers in the video as well. Um, Inside the pack, when you download them, you'll get these files right here. There's a README file. Always read it. Okay, so basically this tells you that you require the base no intro base pack. This is the add-on for it. All you basically have to do is take the folders, copy them over to the install directory, and you're set. Here's a note here. If you customize your installation by adding new system to it or modify stuff, you want to make sure that you don't overwrite this file here, which is located in Launchbox settings. This will kind of mess up your add-on and basically remove them. So instead, you want to open up Rocket Launcher UIs and then add into the RetroArch emulator this extension, the CUE extension. And the reason you want to do that is you look at Launchbox games, the Sega CD. These are the games that are included. If I double click on one of these games inside the 7-zip folder, um, the content of it is like a bunch of different tracks because they're CDs, and then the Q file right here, okay, CUE. So you have to add that to RetroArch to allow it to run these games. Okay, so anyways, once you do the extraction, you'll get a couple folders. You get the Launchbox folder, which contains all your Launchbox media and games, and then the Rocket Launcher folder, which contains the no, the fades, the bezel, and the settings. Okay. What I like to do is inside settings, Cole has included the global emulator. I never overwrite mine um, because I don't know what he's really included, and it's a very complicated file to go through and check. So I always rename it to have a copy of it. So I rename it to .sega CD, which tells me this came from the .sega CD pack. We're gonna go ahead and open up and take a look at it, you know. So if you have a lot of system, you'll have a lot of stuff here. Now this is what he's talking about. Inside the RetroArch emulator here, here's the ROM extension, and he wants you to add that into your global emulator settings. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go into my installation setting, my install folder, which is D Launchbox No Intro, Rocket Launcher, Settings. Scroll down here till you see Global Emulators. And if you look at my RetroArch right here, um, it does not have the Q extensions, so I'll go ahead and add that uh, CUE. This character right here is basically on your keyboard right above the enter key. So you hit shift and you'll get to that key right there. Okay, and then CUE, and make sure you save this. Okay, let's go back to read his instruction right here. And that's basically it. We did this too, and the next thing to do is just take the folder and copy them to the install directory. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to my D drive, my downloads folder, the place where I extracted the folders. We'll take these two folders right here. Okay, here's my directory. So let's go ahead and open that. So basically, Launchbox right here in my download folder will go into this directory here and put everything in the correct place. So I'll go ahead and drag these two and I'll move it to the Launchbox No Intro folder. Now I already did this installation, so um, it's going to ask me if I want to replace the destination. I'm actually just going to cancel out all this. Okay, because I already did that once. Again, this is my second recording of it. I'm gonna, okay, so let's cancel that. The next thing you want to do now is open up Launchbox. So let me close it. If you have Launchbox open, just close it and reopen it. I'm running 8.2. If you're just beginning, you might have a different version. If Launchbox asks you to upgrade, go ahead and do that. There's no problem with it. So I'm going to go down to Sega CD. Okay, I click on that. Now, when the first time you click on it, these images here are not going to come up. Just give it a minute or so. It has to build up the image cache. Okay. In this installation, it's pretty easy. All you gotta do is actually just double click on the game and it will just work. So let's try that now.
Extracting file. Extraction complete.
All right, that seems to work. I'm just gonna lower the sound real fast. Um, all right. So I'm gonna hit the start button on my Xbox One controller. So this is already set up for that controller, so it should work. If you have a different controller, it's pretty simple to fix. All you gotta do is hit F1 on your controller. I'm sorry, hit F1 on the keyboard. You'll get into the RetroArch folder. And from here, you hit backspace. Then you get into the quick menu by hitting enter. Scroll down until you get to controls here and hit enter. And you can kind of play around with this stuff right here and also set the um, kind of like all the buttons to the way you want it. Okay, I'm gonna hit backspace. Mine's already set. You can also go in and change the shader of it, do some filter, whatever you want to do, like scanline. Set that here. Once you're done, if you do some custom setting, make sure that you click on the Save Core Override file. Okay, hit backspace again, um, and then hit backspace again to get out. I'm sorry, hit F1 to get back to the game. So let's actually quickly get into the game here. Now again, there might be a couple of different bezel. So to change bezel, if you hit delete on the keyboard, let me hit delete again. So this system only have one bezel. Start on the Xbox One controller here. The game's gonna load. Okay, that seemed to work okay. I'm just gonna hit delete, escape on my keyboard to exit the emulator here. Some other things you can do is if you go up to images here in Launchbox, you could change it to clear logo if that's your preference. I kind of like the box version myself. Okay, um, go ahead and click on uh, Rocket Launcher UI here. That's just a shortcut that I made on the system. If you want to know where that program is, go to your installation, which is D drive, Launchbox no intro, Rocket Launcher, Rocket Launcher UI, and it's just that program. To put it on your taskbar, just right click and send to desktop, or if you want to create a desktop icon. I've got mine pinned to my taskbar here. So if it's not pinned, this option will actually say pin to taskbar. And that's how I got this icon down here on the middle of the screen. All right, so from here, let's take a look at the Sega CD. Now, if this doesn't show up for you right here, just click this refresh button on top, reload system list, and it'll show up. If not, close out Launchbox, close out Rocket Launcher, and reopen Rocket Launcher. All right, take a look at emulators. We're running RetroArch. Take a look at games. Click this Add button, and you'll notice you have 108 ROMs down here. Okay, if you look at where the games are, um, Launchbox, no intro, Launchbox games. And we're going to scroll down to Sega CD. And inside here, this is your games directory. And you'll actually see on the bottom left-hand corner, we have 118 items. But Rocket Launcher and Launchbox only register 108 games. And that's because if you look, some of these games are just multi-disc. And that's it. Okay? Let's take a look at one of these multi-disc games. Dracula Unleash, which has 2 discs. So if we look at uh, Dracula Unleash, is this it? No, that's not it. D. Oh, Dracula Unleash. Okay. So look at this here. If you right click on it, you can select play this one, play this too. Okay. And I believe inside the emulator you can switch this if you wanted to. That's Let me see what about. Okay, so we did the installation and we did the testing. So I think that's it for this. Pretty easy install. All right, have fun. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.